Hello everybody, today we're going to smoke some baby back ribs. We're going to smoke them on the Weber Smokey Mountain at 225, and we're going to use the 2-2-1 method. That's 2 hours smoking, 2 hours wrap, 1 hour on the grill. That's when we'll put the barbecue sauce on it, let it tighten up. Okay, let's get the ribs ready. Okay, what we got here is 3 racks of baby back ribs. You need to, I would recommend taking the membrane off. I always do. I think it's better. It lets the flavor from the rub get into the meat. And nobody wants to take a bite of ribs and pull out membrane. So I've already taken the membrane off these 2 racks. The best way to do that is just use a simple kitchen knife. Go up under the rib, in the middle of the rib, slide it along the surface of the rib until you can get it broke loose. Just enough to where you can get your fingers through it, get a hold of it. Hold down on the ribs, and most of the time it'll come off one piece. Just like that. Sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, you can get it up some, grab hold of it with a piece of paper towel. Like this right here. To give you some grip to hold on to it to pull it off. Okay. Now what we're going to do first is going to apply some mustard to the rib. This works as a binder. You're not going to taste the mustard. This helps to hold the rub on. Put a good little coat on each side. We'll put this on all on one side first, and then we'll flip them over. Just rub it on real good. Like I said, this works as a binder. You're not going to taste the mustard. Okay. Now let's get some rub on these ribs. Okay, just put a good liberal coat of your rub. I'm using a homemade rub. I'll show you how to do it to make this homemade rub on another video. Just put a good little liberal coat on both sides. We'll get all the surface of the meat covered. Okay, now we're going to flip them over and do the other side. By the way, if you're like me, you will make a mess. Do the same thing to this side. I like to put a little extra rub on this side. This is where all the meat is. Just get it covered real well so that rub will stick. Like I said, I put a heavier coat on this side. I want to make sure you get plenty of rub on there. Gives it plenty of flavor and builds up a good bark. Cover all sides, the edges. About to run out. Okay. Now you got a good coat of rub on there. These are ready to go on the smoker. So let's get these bad boys on the smoker. Okay, what I'm doing here is what's called the minion method. I've got my coals in the base of the Weber Smokey Mountain, sort of like in a ring with an empty area in the center. That's where I'll put my hot coals. Now what happens with the minion method, by doing it like this, the coals slowly burn out towards the edges. And it gives you a longer cook time with the coals you put in there without them burning up so quick. And I use about a half a chimney of coals because it's easier to get the temperature up than it is to bring it down. If you put like a whole chimney in there, it'll get the temperature up too high, too quick, and it's real tough to bring that temperature down. So I like to start with like a half a chimney of coals and let it build up. Now I'm going to use apple wood today, using 4 or 5 small chunks. I'm just going to place this around evenly. Alright, let me set this on here and let this thing get up to temperature. And we get the meat on the smoker. Okay, our smoker's up to temperature, so let's get these ribs on the smoker. Okay, now what you want to do on the Weber Smokey Mountain is to leave the vent at the top wide open and the intake vents at the bottom. What I do is leave them about 1/4 to 1/2 depending on the temperature. And it's okay to get up about 240, 250, no more. I like to try to keep it around 225 to 230 in that area, and it's not hard to do with the Weber Smokey Mountain. Okay, let this meat cook. Welcome back, everybody. What we're going to do now, we've got the ribs off the smoker. They've been on for 2 hours. We're going to wrap them. And what we're going to do, we're going to add some butter. Just take some squeezed butter. Take a little brown sugar. Kind of sprinkle it across the top. And take a little honey. And if you see later that this is a little too sweet for you, back off the honey. You don't want to put a lot on there to begin with. And what you want to do is seal it up. Because what you're doing is sealing it up so this can steam on the smoker, which tenderizes the ribs. That's all you got to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up these other 2 racks, then we'll put them back on the smoker for another 2 hours at 225 degrees. See you in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. So the ribs have been on the smoker for 2 hours wrapped up in foil. So what I'm going to do now is open one up, check it to see if it's the right tenderness that I want it to be before I take them out of the foil. The best way to do that, and you have to be very careful because there's a lot of steam in here. Just open it up, take one of the ribs. You can tell by moving the rib from side to side, these are ready to come off, ready to come out of the wrap. So what I'm going to do is take them out of the foil, put them back on the grill for an hour so that the meat can tighten up again. And I'm going to last 15-20 minutes, I'll put the barbecue sauce on the ribs and we'll take them off. I'll see you in a few minutes when we take them off the smoker. Welcome back, everybody. I've got the ribs off the smoker. They were on for 2 hours smoking, 2 hours wrapped. 1 hour on the smoker, and about the last 15-20 minutes or so is when I put the sauce on. And I want you to look at how tender these are. Just falling off the bone tender. Don't get any better than that. Appreciate you joining me. Be sure to subscribe, comment, like my video, and I'll see you on the next one.